He was the most important physician of ancient Rome, a philosopher of anatomy and psychology. In particular, he contributed greatly to the development of the science of anatomy. He was born in Bergamo. He took math, astronomy, philosophy and literature lessons from his father until the age of 14, who was an architect. He received his first medical education in Pergamon and continued his education in Alexandria. During his education, he met Aristotle's school and philosophers on the island of Lesbos. He returned to his native city and worked as a physician. He settled in Rome in the early 160s. He was a surgeon to the gladiators and he became a physician of the Roman palace. He was interested in anatomy, psychology, pharmacology, as well as philosophy. Galenos, who had mastered the medical science of the time, rearranged this branch according to the original principles. In particular, he recognized the importance of the research methodology and argued that analysis was the basis for the examination and treatment of disease. The story of Serpent Column. In Bergamo, healthcare hostel aka Asclepion, there was a famous doctor whose name is Galenos. According to what is told that he was more successful in medicine than Hippocrates, wrote hundreds of books, and cured the kings of the area. At the time of this guardian physician, a patient came to Asclepion in about 1:30. They took it through the door of Byron. He was taken off her clothes, washed and dressed in white dress, and was taken to the sleeping room after passing through the holy way by the Asclepiots. His delirium and dream were looked at, but the root of his illness could not be found. He would be kept waiting until the cause of his illness solved, but in few days he got worse and worse and started to shaking. The doctors found out that he was poisoned, but it was too late. They explained the situation to Galen, and after Galen saw the man, he wanted them to take the patient out in front of the temple's door and tell the relatives to take him home before he dies. You should know that on the temple's door it's written that death cannot enter through this door. The patient was left at the tree-lined entrance of the return road, and his relatives were informed to the door to enter. In here, the patient, who was struggling in desperation, saw two snakes vomiting the milk they drank from the same bowl. The snakes were scrambling at each other. While they were fighting near the milk, they spilled venom into the milk as they bit each other. The desperate patient approached the milk bowl with the thought of ending his life without a pain and drank the milk at a seam. After he drank the poisoned milk, he fell on the ground and started sleeping so deeply. When the patient's sons came to take their father, first they couldn't see him, then they found him lying on the ground under the trees. They thought that he was dead and tried to get him. At this moment, their father woke up and jumped on his feet. One of the sons ran and told the news to Galen that their father is okay. While Dr. Galen embraced the patient with the joy of finding an antidote to poison, as a deduction he built a column, which there is two snakes vomiting the milk they drank from the same bowl on it. The flawless work of a surgeon who does not know anatomy is like a blind man who makes a perfect sculpture from a painting.